everyone, it is Mickey here from A Pretty Talent, where we use our God-given talent to make the world a pretty place. And I am back with, what is this now? The 5th video in the Easter journal series. I started off thinking I was just going to make a tiny little journal, and yeah, here we go again. But in any case, here's what I have decided upon. Back in the day of scrapbooking, we all used to use these screws that work like this. These ends come out and then they screw into this little tube here. Well, that end is fixed. And this is the fastener for the journal. I'm going to show you how this works in a sec. We need to do a bit of prep before we get to that. So if we want these pages to page, you can bend them over a ruler as well if you don't have a scoreboard. But if you're a serious paper crafter, then by now I'm quite sure you do own a scoreboard, and then this is how you use it. I'm measuring on 1.5 inches and just scoring along the line. Now I'm doing this very lightly because I've actually already done this off camera. It's a tedious thing to watch on camera. So all of the pages were scored on 1.5 inches so that if you now page them, they actually page on that fold line. Right, because the screws are going to come through here, through these holes. I'm not going to force it through now. And that's going to be rather stagnant. Okay, well, let me show you. So this is going to be a rather stagnant fixture. And so your paging has to happen like this, okay, on a fold. And if you've ever done scrapbooking, the good old days of 12 by 12 inch scrapbooking and whatever, you know that that's the way the albums used to work. Okay, so I've got 3 of these, and I have sort of measured them against the pile of papers that I want to put in. Let's show you. This is how I decided what length I need. I've got a couple left over from the scrapbooking days. So this is much larger than this is, but remember this is also a junk journal, so this can still expand a bit, and also I don't want it to be snug because that, yeah, in any case I need a little bit of movement. There is the point. Let's not get sidetracked yet. Let's put that aside. I'm going to put the scoreboard away as well because it's actually already done. I now pull in this journal, and I need to position carefully where I want to put this. Again, it's already been done. I really positioned it carefully because I wanted to lean over it right from the top. And I marked it with a pencil. You know, that's where my 3 holes need to go. This is really just to speed things up in the video. Now, the next step is to bring in these tools. Unless you've got something that can reach that deep, and I don't, this is the way to create holes there now. Oh goodness, if I can just open the box. Right, we need, crying out loud, the hammer. We need this tool with the largest, they come in different sizes, but the largest hole puncher, which it's got on, and that's pretty much all we need. So let's put that aside. Now I pull out this one because I actually use the back of this to punch the holes. So I put that there, and I put this smack in the middle of that pencil ring. I've got a fly. It's not actually fly season here any longer. In any case, sidetracked. This might make a bit of noise, but in any case, this is what you do. You position it there, and then you start punching your hole. It did not go all the way through. Let me just put this on the, I can see the indent there. I don't know if you can see, but I can see the indent there of where it's supposed to have gone through. So now I'm just going to punch it from this side as well. Right, and that's how I'm going to make all 3 holes. Now, this is left in there, and this happens more often than not. So if you found when you were still using these, that these things got stuck, I would just literally sort of wedge them out with this tool. If all else fails, you can unscrew this. Maybe I should, then I can show you. And then you can just sort of wedge them out like this as well. It's a bit tedious. It's so much easier if you can just use a hole puncher. Yeah, there's layers of cardboard in this, eh? Okay, anyways, that's how this works. And if you had this tool lying about somewhere and you didn't know how it worked, then there's a bit of extra there for you now, showing you how this works. Now, I'm not going to punch all the holes on camera. It makes a heck of a noise. And also, you know, again, repetitive. So let me do the prepping now off camera. And then do not worry about the holes that you see here. I'm going to work with those as well. Okay, so but for now, let's just pause. Okay, next step. Okay, let's start with this. The inside pages of the journal. These are some leftover papers from the Venetian Palace book that I took apart. I want to work with the black pages on this side. Now, they are pretty much going to fit like this in the journal. Okay. And what I want to do is for this one specifically, I need to get this one in place first. Let me make sure it stays where it's supposed to stay. Right, this one I'm less concerned with. This one has the holes in it, so I want to be able to punch holes in this as well. So marking the spot where the holes have to go. And then I can pretty much take this away. Okay. That's where I need to punch the holes, and I will do so, but in a little bit. Right. Now, the other thing that I've done is to go find fabric that I think will work beautifully with this journal, to cover the journal. And here's what I want to do. Okay, so here's the reasoning behind the fabric. Oh my goodness, sorry. Let me just steady the camera again. Oh. Awful. Okay, anyways, here's the reasoning behind this choice of fabric. The story of Jesus is the story of him coming to the world, a very busy world, maybe more busy these days than back in Easter. I don't know, I cannot account for how things were back then. But a very busy world with people all wrapped up in themselves and their lives and whatever it is. And this is a photo journal of the world today. And this is a photo journal, isn't it? So I figured this was a really fantastic fabric that I had in my stash to use for this journal. And again, it's black and white, so it just absolutely worked marvelously for this. Okay, having said that, we are going to flip this around. And now what have I got in my way here? Let me just move it out of the way. The thinking is that I should do this in one go. You know, once you start committing to this process, there's no going back. I do want these fasteners is that going to be a mistake? I was thinking they need to go on the inside of the fabric. And then be covered. I think yes. I don't think it's going to be a mistake. I think it's going to make it more difficult to do, but I don't think it's going to be a mistake. Oh, come on, can I not get the screw in? It's just a screw. There we go. There's a hair or something there. Okay, next one in. Oy. Right, and the last one in. Okay, what has me in doubt here is the fact that this could push against the fabric. Should I not rather push it through the fabric? Oh, let me undo. I don't think this is going to be good for the journal. So, right, well, this is the thought process. Goes a little all over the place until we're 100% sure of what we need to do. I don't think it's going to be good. The movement of the papers, the movement of the journal, I don't think the fabric, I think it's going to stretch the fabric and do all sorts of funny things, and I would hate for that to happen. So I am absolutely rethinking that whole idea, and here's what we're going to do. I am going to bring in, this is carpenter's tape. So I'm going to bring in carpenter's tape. Ooh, my scissors. Oh, I didn't even know that these can still cut this tape. They're so sticky. We shall try. Why don't I do this? Start it. Yes. Oh, here. Going a bit skew, but that's okay. There. End it there. That's a huge overlap, and that's fine. Oh, goodness. Sticky, sticky, sticky. Right. It's a pity I'm losing this, but you know what? We've got to sacrifice certain things in life. I'm actually going to do the same kind of thing. Not quite as far. Oh. It's humongously sticky tape. Let's do it here on the edge. Right, I'm going to cover this. I'll switch back on when I'm done. Okay, right, so here's what I've done is I have put the tape in place, and now I'm going to remove only this tape. Right. Just checking. Oh, my apologies. Steady, steady on, steady on. Checking the right side and the wrong side and whatever it is, just so that we're on the right side. Okay, that is going to be perfect. I want to add glue. Okay, this is somewhat like fabric tack. From what I understand, we don't have fabric tack here. I need to close the glue, otherwise it's going to spill all over. Making sure I find the center here and that I'm straight on in the right place. Right. So far, so good. I did make it tricky for myself with the wrap over of the tape. Nonetheless, we shall continue. And I'm now removing the tape from the back panel of the book. The one that's going to have the holes in them. And again putting on glue. Now that's not a whole lot of glue. I think I'm a little off camera and my apologies. I cannot really afford to move this now. It's not a whole lot of glue that I'm adding. All things considered, I want to glue around the holes. I want the fabric to take well in those spots. Well, I want the fabric to take well in all spots, but yes. I'm not going to trust the tape alone. I want to make sure that there is enough glue in place to keep the fabric attached to the journal. Right, just closing the glue, and then I'm going to pull the fabric over. It is a nice stiff fabric and a nice hard cover, and the two are working rather beautifully together, making this a whole lot easier to do than might otherwise be the case. Right, I'm just making sure that the glue has taken in all the necessary spots. Right, I'm going to do the same thing on the front cover. Don't go gluing to each other now. Okay, again I'm going to cover the whole thing in glue. This is a part of the journal making that I absolutely love. This, where it all starts coming together. And I know a lot of people are more into the decorations, but the construction part, to me, I love that. I absolutely love this. And planning how I'm going to construct it and what method, and that's why you'll often hear me say I've got a couple of ideas, because I'll be walking around thinking about this, planning this, discarding it, planning something else, discarding it, sort of narrowing it down to 2 or 3 good ideas before finally settling on the one that I want to try. I don't know who else is like that, but I love this whole construction part of the journal making. Right, now I need to bring this over. Okay, that went rather well. We've got no seepage of glue, which is good. That's why we don't do excessive gluing. Okay. The tape has stuck to each other. Yeah, I just separate it. There we go. Okay, now I am considering doing, yes, I think I should do that. Okay, but having said absolutely nothing, my apologies. I'm so thinking out loud in this journal making process. I want to start by putting tape all the way there. It's not the straightest, but it doesn't really matter. I am stuck to my journal, yeah. Okay. Then I'm also going to put tape all the way down here. Oops. Right. I think I want to do this. And this is me, I wonder if you can see this. Am I too far off camera? Okay. Just folding in the corners. I'm only going to do these two on this end now. I'll kind of leave it like that. I just want to come in. This is the same tape, but a thinner piece. Not quite as wide. Narrower, I suppose, is the proper word for that. Okay, I really messed that up, and I'm going to have to start over. Here's what I want to do. Just put a piece of tape down there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other end. These are my dedicated glue scissors, but even they are now so sticky that you can't even work with them. I just put this tape aside. Okay. Now, having done that, oh, come on. I can't lift the point. Just lifting the tape away. Okay, having done that, I am now going to come in with glue. Just sort of all along this edge, not a whole lot. Right, like that should do it. Okay, I'm going to swap this over so I can get it on this side. And do the same thing. Okay, let me show you. Same thing on this side. Again, a little piece of extra tape. Just to get the corners sticky again. Right, we're going to remove the tape, both ends. I'm going to add a bit of glue. Now there's going to be extra thickness on our corners here, and I gave this a lot of thought. Should I cut it away? What should I do with it? Normally I do cut it away, In this instance, I figured I'm going to leave it there. I think this journal can deal with it. I'm hoping I wasn't wrong about that. Anyways, time will tell. Right, now we need to do, I'm just checking the closing of the journal, it's still good. Now we need to do these edges, and I think I'm going to come in with this one here. There's a curiosity for you. The tape ends here. Oh goodness, come on. Don't go sticking down there now. Oh well, it did. There's a, yeah. Okay, that's just so odd. There's an extension on the tape here. Where there was a cut and now they are continuing it. Well, I've got to be honest with you, that's a bit weird. I found it very weird actually, not just a bit. Right, anyway, child, we shall deal with that. Why do I get the impression? Oh, it's going to be what it is. Okay. With some glue. It's as if it's not pulled tight enough here, but I think it's fine. I need to do something else here as well. Oh goodness. The tape is now very weird. Very weird, as in it's even coming off. Oh, very weird. I see now these yellow, what the heck, seriously? Okay, let me pull that off, because now I've got a piece of tape here still. I don't know, I just don't know. This is crazy at this stage. Okay, I want to add some more glue here. Okay, right. And I'm going to fold it over and stick it down. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm sticky now. I cannot begin to tell you how sticky I am. Okay, bring it over to this side. And we're going to do the same thing, but on this side I'm going to use some of this wider tape because I've got a bit more depth on this end. Let me put it here. I'm so sticking to the tape now. It's not even coming off my fingers because I'm so incredibly sticky. I'm going to have to pause and go wash my hands before I do anything else. But in any case, yes, let's just finish this covering of the fabric part. It's actually quite funny to feel how incredibly sticky I am right now. Yeah, that one can stay there actually. Oh, that one stayed behind for some reason, and I don't know if these sticky fingers, there we go. Whew, my word, this is a struggle. The struggle is real. I will say that. The struggle is real, yeah. Well, this excessive stickiness, I'm sure, is a good sign for the longevity of the cover. It should stay. It's sticky. Okay, anyways. Bit of glue. And, okay. Bring it in here. Bring it in here. Right, that's our cover. For the moment. Goodness gracious. Let me pause, go wash my hands and finish the cover on the inside. Okay, right, I have been doing some prepping off camera and all my tape is in place. I have also punched the holes in my, well, in this one paper. And I have opened the holes. Now let me show you how I do that. I would go searching, oh goodness, this is going to be covered again. I would go searching for a hole. Let me take this off. I'll actually show you how I do this. With the awl, I go searching for the hole. Same thing on that side, which now means my awl is very sticky, but in any case. And then I take my sharp-nosed scissors and I open that hole further, like that, and from both ends. Right, so with that in place, I can now, I don't want to bring those scissors in here to the tape. Okay. I can now pretty much start putting the paper covers on. Let me remove this first. I kind of think I should put these in first. Now I'm going to screw them in again because I don't want the screws to get lost. let's get them in place. Yeah, this thing is sticky. Oh, I can't screw them in. Hang on. Okay, that's top. That's middle. I forgot, I've got to stick the paper over them first before I can screw them in. Okay, and this is the bottom one. And whenever you take a screw out, you do want to do your best to kind of keep them in order. Because sometimes they're not the same size. They should be, but sometimes they're not. But that's just something my dad taught me. Right, any which how, we lift everything away. I'm actually going to lift everything away. Shouldn't have to go further than this, I think. Right, get the glue in place. It is a large journal, and it makes it fun. In a sense, I suppose, easier, but in another sense, a little bit more tricky. It's a toss-up. 6 of one and a half dozen of the other. Right, let's get this paper in place. Through the holes, which are now very sticky. Come on, work with me. And the last one, right, straight down, don't be funny here, straight down. Huh. Okay, that's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Right, I like that. Let's move it over. Moving my tape out of the way, moving the holes out of the way, moving everything out of the way that can be in the way. And let's remove these pieces of tape. Come in with our glue again. Sure. It is a bit of an arduous task, this one, eh? There's going to be an overlap here, so you need to accommodate that overlap. Right. Here's hoping for the best. This time around I don't have, sure, I need to make sure it's lined up here at the bottom. And then I need to make sure it's lined up there. Good. We've got glue lines sticking out here, tape lines. Okay. It's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be okay. Are these too long? Ooh. Well, we'll see. What are we gonna do now here? I have messed up with the tape coming in too close to the edge. And I have an idea. You see, I have this board. This is mounting board, by the way. Okay, if we put that in place, then I've got to take this one down. Can you see? If that one is in place there, and that one is in place there, then this one needs to be cut down here. But they all need to be cut down. Let me do this. Here. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so the reason I brought the mounting board out is because of the way that I've covered the journal with the fabric. It's going to be bumpy, and so I thought I want to put in some stronger board there. Let's first cut them down. On this end. So I'm lining it up with one of my lines, lining it up straight down here. I am going to come in with my knife. Making sure they're straight. And, oh goodness, this knife. I love this knife, but that thing keeps coming out. Right, there we go. Now, this one also needs to be cut down here. I am thinking I'm going to have to cut the folds into this one. Right, let's first get this in place. This time round I'm only going to work with glue because it is really paper on paper. Right, I think that'll do it. But now I need to come in with this one first. And the best way to do this is there a best way to do this? Other than taking these out again. Possibly shouldn't I just do this? And then come in on this side again. I kind of like that idea because then these are also kept sturdier in place. Well, mind you, so will this thing, isn't it? Okay. But that will work. Let me do this. Mark it there, mark it there, mark it there. Can we see this? Yes. Just bringing those pencil marks over. They're actually quite equal. So that's not too shabby. Okay. Now that means if I am to draw these lines now, oh goodness, this is a task and a half, isn't it? I thought I'm doing a really quick, easy journal, and here we go again. Certainly everything but quick and easy. And this one. Okay. Now this far in, and then there. Let's see if I'm accurate. Ink these, and then I'm going to say it's pretty accurate. I'm going to say go for it. That's where we're going to have to, it's not 100% here, but you can see that I'm a bit skewed there. So I'd say that's as close as we're going to get to it. I'm concerned about the folds here. I need to first work out my folds. So if this is going to come there, I've got a fold here, I've got a fold here. Right, and those folds on this thick mounting board is going to have to be I think they need to be cut. I also think they need to be cut on the other side. Oh my goodness, there goes my screws. Am I right in saying this is the way they need to give? If I cut them here, will they give? And they will. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Let me grab the punch. Which I very prematurely put away, thinking I was done punching, but I'm not. And here we go again. I hope they're in the right place. So my apologies for this noise. Right. Let's see how this works. Let's see. Does it fit? Does it fit? Does it fit? It fits. Well, I'm not going to say it's 100%. And definitely not going to say that's good. Very definitely not going to say that's good. I'll do something to cover this. I'm not too concerned with that. But this, on the other hand, I need to bring in quite a bit. How much is that? 1/2 centimeter. Yeah, you can bring it in 1/2 centimeter. So, this one. Let's put it this way around. Okay, this will work. Which way? Closer. Closer. Test the waters again. That will do it. That will do it. The screws are a little too tall. I don't think I've got, you know, shorter than this. Much shorter, but not, yeah. So this will have to do. Do I? No, I don't. I'll be fine. That will be fine. Okay, I am going to have to start gluing this. Okay, let me spare you this because I'm really just going to glue all of this down, and then I'm going to pick it up again once I'm done with that. Okay, right, so I have glued it, and before I glued it I realized I need to cut more slits into this. I don't know if you can see this on the black, but from the back I did cut more slits into this, and even then when I closed it, there's movement on this panel here, and that closes the gap that exists here. So there's going to be movement. I'm going to leave it be. And that's how the journal is going to close now. I also took my offcut strips and I pasted 2 together so it's even thicker, and punched some holes in this. Now, here is where we start putting things together. Let me grab the inside of the journal here. Okay, working from the back. We're going to slide the pages in. If I line them up properly, I don't have to do them one at a time. And this is now where they say the proof is in the pudding, right? If this doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's just get 3 at a time, or whatever this is. Okay. I think we can do these last ones. Right. That is good. This I created so that there would be even more sturdiness holding these pegs in place. Now let's close these. I've got this one the wrong way around. I know I've got it the wrong way around. Because, just when you think you're done and then you got to unscrew everything again. The narrow side must go on the page side. Otherwise, that fold that we created in the papers right at the start of this video is not going to be in place. This fold would not have worked. That's the journal. It is a mighty fine journal. Yep, you can see there's a bit of movement there on these things. That's okay. Now I'm extra glad I did not put this under the fabric because that would have looked very bad. Okay, I like this. It can page. Oh my goodness, I actually love this. I actually really love this. There's space for a bit of expansion. Not that the cover believes it, but there is. And there's something else I want to do. Oh dear, are we stretching it when we do this? Okay, here's the question. Is it necessary? Remember all these pages I had prepared beforehand that I thought I wanted to include here? You know what? I'm going to say no. Even though I like the idea of this, I thought I'd put a little notepad thing here. I think no, we're going to change our mind about that. I'm going to change my mind about that. I'm going to leave it at this. Am I going to put a bookplate on this cover? Maybe, but I'm going to give it some thought because I actually love the cover as it is. I might change my mind about that. I might put something on the spine. Oh, I love it. I doubt that I'm going to put anything on it just because I absolutely love this fabric. Okay, in any ways, guys, that's it for building this journal. Enjoy your building process. I am going to, from time to time, show you how I handle the Bible studies. In any case, that's what I'm thinking. I want to show you how I handle the Bible studies in this journal. And but for now, I'm mighty proud of how this turned out. I really love how it looks. If I were to do it over again, I think I'd do a little something different here, knowing the movement I'm going to encounter here. But it was a really wise decision to make cuts in there. And I just think I should have taken, if you're going to build yours, extend your cuts into this one as well. And then you should have a more proper movement. Okay, but in any case, that's my tip for you. Too late for me to do that, maybe not too late for you to do that. So I'm going to say enjoy your journal building process. You're probably going to see this one again sometime as we sort of continue working in this. But for now, cheers. See you in the next one.